Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Katasha Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 22nd of November. Security forces gunned down 2 terrorists in an encounter in India's Kashmir. After derailment killed nearly 150, new tracks laid to resume train services in northern India. And Rohingya Muslims flee Myanmar to seek refuge in Bangladesh. And now for all the details. Indian security forces on Tuesday gunned down 2 terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir province. A report.
An encounter broke out between security forces and terrorists in Bandipora district of India's Kashmir. A joint operation was launched by army and police based on a tip-off about the presence of terrorists. The forces came under fire from the armed gunmen as they closed in on the area where they were holed up.
2 heavily armed terrorists were neutralized. From the slain terrorist, we have recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 under-barrel grenade launcher and large quantity of warlike store.
New currency notes of 2,000 rupees were also recovered from the terrorists. The terrorists are believed to be from the Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, a banned outfit. However, an official confirmation about their identities is awaited.
Railway authorities in India laid down new tracks to restore train services near the road where a train had derailed. Over 140 passengers were killed and more than 200 injured in the tragic incident.
The Indian Railway authorities laid down new tracks to restore traffic on the route where a train derailed and killed more than 140 people in northern city of Kanpur. Trains started moving on the newly laid tracks on Monday night, 40 hours after a packed express derailed in Uttar Pradesh province in the early hours of Sunday. Rail workers repaired the track and set a maximum speed limit of nearly 12 miles per hour for the trains to pass through the route.
उन लाइनों को बदला गया। अब लाइन बदलने के बाद इसके बाद अलाइनमेंट किया गया और अभी तो ये अलाइनमेंट सही नहीं है, लेकिन ट्रेन निकालने के लिए है। तो इसलिए कॉशन लगाए गए हैं और 20 की स्पीड से यहाँ पर इफेक्टेड एरिया में ट्रेन गुजरेगी। उसके बाद आगे स्पीड अपनी पकड़ेगी।
The derailment is India's deadliest train crash since 2010 and has renewed concerns about the poor safety standard of the state-run network. The train, which was travelling between Patna and Indore, had suddenly rolled off the tracks near Kanpur city.
Moving on to news from Afghanistan, the death toll in the Kabul Shi'ite mosque suicide bombing has touched 32. The Islamic State terror outfit claimed responsibility for the attack. This is the second time in a week that Kabul has been rocked by suicide bombing carried out by the Islamic State. Monday's attack was targeted at the ethnic Shi'ite Muslim minority, giving a new dimension to the decades of conflict in the country. In recent times, the Shi'ite Muslims have frequently come under attack of radical Islamists. Meanwhile, with reports of Myanmar troops stepping up their offensive against Islamist militants in the country, hundreds of Rohingya Muslims fled the region seeking shelter in refugee camps in neighboring Bangladesh. A report.
Hundreds of Rohingya Muslims were directed to the Kutupalang refugee camps in Bangladesh's Cox's Bazar on Monday after crossing the wide Naf River to Bangladesh on small boats overnight. The refugees are seeking shelter from escalating violence in the northwest Rakhine province in Myanmar that has killed at least 86 people and displaced some 30,000.
We are observing the situation currently, and we are also coordinating with the law enforcing agencies and local administration. and waiting for their direction and decisions. Just we are observing the situation currently.
The refugees belonging from the ethnic minority community recall the torture and brutality unleashed by Myanmar army. However, Myanmar state media has denied Bangladesh border guards accounts of Rohingya Muslims fleeing conflict at home by trying to cross into the northern neighbor. Earlier this month, Myanmar denied accusations by Rohingya that its military had killed people fleeing the conflict, which has displaced up to 30,000 people.
Moving on to news from Nepal, Nepal's new government led by Pushp Kamal Dahal was elected for its promise on addressing the Madhesi issue. But Madhesi leaders complain that their grievances still go unheeded.
Almost 4 months into power, Nepal Prime Minister Pushp Kamal Dahal, also known as Prachanda, is being criticized for maintaining indifferent attitude towards the plight of the Madhesi community. The Madhesis, who live in the southern part of Nepal, have been demanding amendment to the newly promulgated constitution, which they allege does not represent their interests.
कई बार संविधान संघ का प्रस्ताव लाएंगे कह के कई बार घोषणा किया और खुद पीछे हटा। तो हम लोगों ने 15 दिन का समय दिया है। 15 दिन के अंदर अगर संविधान संशोधन का विधेयक बिल, अमेंडमेंट बिल जो है अगर पार्लियामेंट में टेबल नहीं होती है तो फिर हमारी मोर्चा और गठबंधन आंदोलन की तैयारियां करना शुरू कर देगी।
The Madhesi community has been protesting against the constitution ever since it was adopted last September. This has led to a political deadlock in Nepal.
A unique ophthalmic testing device developed in India could help millions of people who don't have ready access to eye care. It would reduce the amount of people whose lives are blighted by poor vision.
An origami-inspired ophthalmic testing device could help democratize eye care for people in isolated communities and developing countries. The folding phoropter consists of just 2 sheets of card and 2 small lenses. The pieces of card are folded together into 2 boxes that slide into one another, with the lenses then attached at each end. Resembling a telescope, a patient looks through one end of the phoropter towards an eye chart, and by slowly sliding one box out of the other until the chart comes into focus, a quick and accurate eye test can be performed.
The scenario right now is that there are a lot of people who actually do not have access to refractive error screening, and because they can't do that, many people go visually impaired.
The folding phoropter puts the power of self-diagnosis into people's hands. Currently, field tests of the device are being performed to optimize its design and ease of use. With the cost of a single folding phoropter coming in at under $50, the device could eventually help millions of people.
In a bid to bolster business ties and increase investment opportunity in the island nation, a 2-day Maldives Investment Forum was held in New Delhi. India and Maldives are slated to sign a free trade agreement FTA early next year to boost trade and cooperation further.
A 2-day Maldives Investment Forum concluded on Tuesday in national capital New Delhi. The forum was organized to focus and showcase lucrative investment opportunities for Indian businesses in the island nation and show that rising Maldivian economy offers numerous lucrative investments in real estate, infrastructure, logistics, tourism, banking and finance amongst others.
I would like to assure all potential investors and the business community at large that the Maldives is open for business. It is open 24 hours for business in India, from India. And we will welcome all investors, regardless of race, religion, and country, with open arms.
The forum provided Indian companies an opportunity to explore newer venues for collaboration, joint ventures and networking opportunities.
Thailand's Princess Mahachakri Sirindhorn was conferred with the first World Sanskrit Award in New Delhi on Monday. Indian Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari presented the award to the princess for her exemplary contribution towards promotion of the language. American linguist and Indologist George Cardona was also presented the award in a function organized by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. Princess Sirindhorn, a scholar of Sanskrit, was the royal patron of 16th World Sanskrit Conference held in Bangkok last year. India's northeastern Sikkim province is not only a popular tourist destination, it is also known for its locally produced cheese. Hygienic environment and good quality of milk are the prime factors for its popularity.
India's northeastern Sikkim province is popular for its locally manufactured Gouda cheese. Fresh cow milk is used for the process of pasteurizing that gives a distinct flavor to the cheese. After forming and cutting the curd, it is put in molding and immersed in brine solution for enhancing the flavor. It is then coated to protect the cheese from contamination. It is prepared in a hygienic environment and takes almost 5 to 7 hours a day in manufacturing. Nearly 2,000 liters of milk are used daily for preparation. While cottage cheese and clarified butter is utilized locally, Gouda cheese is sold both in domestic and the international markets.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Security forces gunned down 2 terrorists in an encounter in India's Kashmir. After derailment killed nearly 150, new tracks late to resume train services in northern India. And Rohingya Muslims flee Myanmar to seek refuge in Bangladesh. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.